Everyone, today is Halloween, October the 31st. So happy Halloween if you're into that at all. Usually my little um, videos are called Holy Babble, but today it's not really about anything holy, just really babble. It's more about culture. So basically, I'm giving you my thoughts and interpretations on culture today. Today, the topic is my best friend is what? Black. This is one that kind of gets under my skin a lot, but I hope y'all get something out of it. If you don't, so be it. So my best friend is black. What's wrong with that? Not necessarily anything. Either you've heard that statement or you've been the one who said it, right? Along with, I just love Kobe Bryant, Oprah. Oh, I just love Jay-Z. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But we're going to delve into that, why people make those statements, okay? Oprah. But there's nothing wrong with those statements except when they are used to cloak discrimination. Okay? I'm going to get into that to tell you exactly why I said that. Okay? So I'm going to give you an example. You hear a lot of people tell you, my husband, my grandchild is black, blah, blah, blah. Who normally makes those statements? White people. And usually, why do they make those statements? Usually because a black person is insinuating that that person is racist, right? So they say, well, no, I can't be racist. My husband's black. My best friend's black, right? And that's usually where that statement comes from. To counteract that accusation, that is the response that you usually will get. And it's usually said in a way that the person feels will vindicate them from any possibility of racism, right? I can't possibly be racist because my best friend is black, blah, blah, blah. Case closed. So what do I say to that? Well, honey, bless your heart. But we're going to get into this right here because this needs to be said. And I don't really see people really saying this. Many of those people truly don't believe, that they are racist at all. Others know that they're racist and or discriminate, and they're okay with that, right? The black friend or family member ends up being used kind of as a wild card. You pull in, remember the game of Uno, and you slap it down. Okay, I changed color to black. Or if you're talking about Hispanics, I changed color to brown. Or, well, I can't be racist because my so-and-so's Jewish, so you change color to whatever it is. So someone who is ethnically conscious would never even try to pull that card. Someone who knows better knows you don't just say, I could never be racist because my best friend is black. They would know better. They would not. They would say, well, why do you think that? Really? So y'all see that way? Okay, well, we'll look into that. Okay, that's interesting. But for me, every time I hear someone make that statement, you're almost definitely racist. So anytime I hear, I'm like, oh, God, she definitely got it right. But unless it is said in a context that is current to the conversation, what am I talking about? Say you're at work. Two black people are saying, oh, my hair is getting dry. I need some kind of such and such so it'll act right, so it'll comb right. And the white lady says, oh, comes up and says, hey, you should try such and such. The black lady might look at her like, how would you know what goes on our hair? Then you can say, hey, well, I happen to have a biracial grandchild, and her mother used such and such in her hair. It works great. Or if you're talking about a boy, hey, my son-in-law is black. And I heard him talk to a man about he uses Duke products on his hair and it works even better than another product. That's when it's relevant to the conversation to say, well, such and such happens to be black and that's how I know that, blah, blah, blah. Then it makes sense to call out the color, right? So countless times I have read books or articles where the author makes sure that you know when someone they're talking about is black. Honey, I kid you not. Hispanic, what have you, but won't tell you when the person they are describing are white. They will say, oh, such and such grew up, you're reading a novel, such and such grew up in a well-to-do family on the east side of New York, blah, blah, blah. She always dreamed of becoming an editor at Vogue, blah, blah, blah. They don't say, the white girl from so-and-so dreamed about being an editor from Vogue. But if you're black, the black guy, so-and-so, well, of course, the person, because she's black, that they make sure they need to know, Even if you're talking to them in conversation, they'll say, there's this black guy over there at the gas station. If they don't say the color of the person's skin, they're talking about they're white. They're saying the person's white. You won't hear a white person say, that white guy got on my nerves today. You will never hear that, right? And I said, why can't you just say my neighbor, my friend, my coworker, instead of my black friend, my black neighbor, right? Why can't, if you don't see, it's okay to see color, but color should not be the main focus. You should have to be the label on every single thing, right? You don't tell another white person, you're white. Why doesn't this get addressed more often? I always wonder, well, here is a huge part of also some of the problem. Thanks to slavery, many blacks still have that same slave mentality that has been taught by previous slave masters, then encouraged by later generations to continue in that same behavior of being submissive, agreeable, and dumbed down, especially to get a job and to keep a job, okay? We are not supposed to be here on this earth to be your personal self-esteem assistant, make you feel good about yourself. Or if you're in the grocery store, you're looking at something on the shelf, and two white people are talking, and they say something, and the white person turns to you and starts going, and you're like, I don't even know what you're laughing at. I was over here looking at the butter, but they always look at the black person like, just start laughing, just going along with me. They could have said anything. You don't even know. And countless times I've been in a store, some stranger almost hit you on the shoulder like, like laugh, because I said so. You don't even know what's going on. And we're supposed to go, we're not your clowns. We're not here to be your laugh track. And they don't even tell you, hey, this is what I said. This is so funny. I got to share this with you. You're going to think this is hilarious. They don't tell you that. They start laughing and look at you like, right. Be agreeable. All the time. Blacks have not truly been given the mental freedom to be ourselves. We have not been given the mental freedom to be ourselves. We are physically free, but we are not mentally free. No, I can't quite speak of myself because I'm pretty dadgum free all the way around. But a lot of people are not. They really are not. Especially we're not mentally free in the presence of whites. Okay, we can let our hair down around our own people, but not around whites. There is a catchphrase that a lot of racist white people say as a kind of a nudge or a wink to let others know that this is the appropriate, acceptable behavior for black people. They'll kind of say, I like that Tom. I'll use Tom as an example. I like that Tom fella. He don't cause no problems. He knows his place. He don't act like he's better than everybody else. No, you don't hear that. It depends on also different areas you're from. Maybe more country areas, southern areas. But still, that stuff exists up north too. We're not even going to go there and act like it doesn't exist up north. It's everywhere. And so this is always usually 99.9%. Okay, only said referring to black people. Okay, how often do black people refer to whites, sir, ma'am, mister, okay, or miss? Yet we don't hear those same titles said back to us near as much as we give it. We must always show respect for sure to white people. Mr. So-and-so, how you doing, Mr. James? Yes, everything's fine. And they'll be like, hey, they'll call you by the first name. Hey, Tommy, how you? They'll say instead of Mr. Jones, Mr. Smith, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Just, yeah, Tommy. Yeah, all right, JoJo, or whatever. It's, and that's maybe, I don't know if it maybe more of a southern thing than a northern thing, but still it is there. They get more sir and ma'am, whatever. Unless y'all really kind of laid back. Hey, Johnny. Hey, Stephen. Whatever. Okay, but you will still see that mentality there. And so, we have to wear a mask for you. A lot of, not me, but a lot of us blacks feel they have to wear a mask for white people. And so basically in the end you end up, you know a lot less about us, who we are, how we think, than we know about you. We have to hide our true feelings, how we think, or whatnot. And whites don't think they are racist because we live in a racist world, where it is encouraged and it is tolerated. So when you're encouraged, you see so many more white people doing it. No white people are calling out other white people and say, hold on, that's not that's not right. That's not fair. That's discrimination. They don't call you out, so of course you feel comfortable and at ease doing it. Unless once in a while somebody does call you out, white or black, but it doesn't happen as much as it should be happening, right? Therefore, if you are not being called out on it or held accountable, why would you stop? Or why would you ever think you're in the wrong? When so many people are doing it and nobody says anything. Half the time, even the black folks won't even say anything, right? Because after all, gosh, I might lose my job now, or somebody will tell somebody else. You know, that mentality that all white people know all white people and can make trouble for you if you speak up kind of mentality, too. Especially when you're the dominant group, white people are still the dominant group. It doesn't matter if there's more Mexicans out there. Mexicans still do not run the Senate. They're not in the White House. They're not majority in the White House, the Senate, judicial, executive branch. They're still coming up. They might be the majority group, but they are not running America at the moment. Now, if they end up doing that in the future, hey, more power to them. But right now, white people are still the dominant group. When you have been taught that you are superior to people of color for hundreds of years, yeah, you don't just snap out of that. This has been going on for a long time, hundreds of years. You don't just that didn't just go away, and without doing the hard work, at least, right? Or untraining your mind on how you view other ethnicities and having the difficult conversations with people of color. Yeah, they're not always easy. It can be kind of even scary. Like, you will stay friends for as long as you want, but once we delve into that, the color and race stuff, it's going to get ugly. I don't want to go there, right? I don't want to stay friends with you, right? Okay. Meanwhile, we're standing still. And if you have no desire to change, well, that's your right too. You say, no, this is how I feel, and I'm going to stay. Okay, so be it. That's your right. But meanwhile, while you are standing still, the world is changing around you. Okay? America is still a melting pot of ethnicity. Okay? We learn from each other, and we are better off for that. Okay? We are more well-rounded as a people. Okay? Look at all the contributions made by scientists, doctors, teachers, cooks, musicians from different backgrounds. America benefits as a whole, right? And so that's something we should want to encourage that to keep going on. All the different things that come from all around the world that makes America the greatest country in the world. And so that's just something to think about. That is something to think about. That we should all be mentally and physically free, allowed to speak our minds, to say, oh, I disagree with that, and that's okay. We can agree to disagree. We should all be allowed to agree to disagree if we disagree with something. If we agree on something, that's great too. So that was just my thoughts and interpretations for the day. Something to think about. Thanks for watching.